Welcome everyone to the BTV Weekly ROMcast. I am OddSmith311, live here at the BTV studios with FelixNloom.
Yo.
And our friend to the far north, EvilPenguin1981.
It's me!
It's a me, Evil Penguin. It's a me, EP.
It's a me, Evil P.
And if you're out there tonight, thank you for joining us. It's been a long week, and I think we're ready to unwind and discuss all things BananaROMa. We want to say, too, right at the top of the show, Happy Christmas and Merry Holidays to everybody out there. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Kwanzaa.
It's Chris Mahana Kwanzaa.
Chris Mahana.
Wow, I like that. Whatever, and hey, and even if you don't celebrate.
Hey, thanks for being with us and hanging out and doing the thing. It's glad to be back once again. It's been this week's been a long week. I don't know. It just seems like
Everything's been like a blur to me. Kind of. One day is just like bleeding into the next way too much.
Yeah, I don't know. The high point was the actual gaming. That was the time that I think I enjoyed the most. I didn't get to watch a lot of the BTV Presents stuff this week, so I'm not exactly sure where we're at with everything.
Oh, okay, let's see. What did we play Monday? Anything?
Did you replay the Mother 3 finale?
That's it. That is what I did. I played the 3 episodes of Chapter 8.
And we'll remind everybody we actually weren't on last week, so we're actually a week
right
ahead of our last episode.
Yeah, we didn't have a cast last week just because, whatever.
Life.
Yeah.
So yeah, the last couple weeks, Mother 3's finished up, and then I don't know. The end is good, so I just replayed it. Hell, I might replay select parts of it for the next few weeks if we don't have anything.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about that off there. That game, that one and Kingdom Hearts have been the two that really, almost like the anchors of the season.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts was it 16 episodes for Kingdom Hearts 2?
Yeah, for Kingdom Hearts 2, yeah.
So, yeah, that game's been entertaining when I got to watch of it. Like I said, someday I'll actually play it.
Mother 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about time I go through that game again, honestly. That playthrough is a little old. I think it's from last year.
Yeah, it's been a little while. I'd still like to see you play Earthbound.
I'm thinking about it.
I don't know. I don't want to say I think you'd like it, but you might. I don't know.
That's fair because it's a quirky game. It's got its own
quirky, but it's very much a JRPG of the time. As quirky and as different it's completely in the Super Nintendo RPG genre.
Just instead of swords and daggers and stuff, you're using baseball bats
and frying pans and airsoft guns and shit.
Nice.
Yeah,
I gotta get through this insane list before I can even think about playing anything else.
True. Earthbound will take you a while too. I bet you 40 hours easy.
That's the one we talked about before. The difficulty curve in that game, it's pretty. Like when you go from one area to the next, man, it jumps pretty drastically. You got to grind for a little bit.
They'll be grinding, and a big part of the game. Well, what makes it quirky is like the NPCs and the people you meet.
Mm-hmm.
So I always spend, even when I tell myself I'm not going to do that, I talk to everybody.
Yeah,
I can't help it. That's part of the game.
Especially what's that village with all the little caveman like guys?
The Mr. Saturn.
Yeah,
Saturn Village. Yeah, those guys are crazy. Those guys have their own font in the game.
Yes. Yeah, you gotta check it out sometime, man. I gotta check out Mother 3 eventually. But if you're out there and you haven't seen Mother 3 yet, we'll have that. We have that in the archives on twitch.tv/BananaROMa, and we'll probably be replaying parts of it for the rest of the season on Mondays at 4. So Even if you're new to the Earthbound series, check that out. Super Mario World, how's that going? I know we had a little bit of technical difficulties.
Yeah, I mean, we're we are through World 6 and the ship, or the sunken ghost ship.
Yes.
But for some reason, I keep getting a bunch of freaking muted audio from Twitch.
That's so weird. I don't know. I don't like to nag about things and to complain about things like constantly, but so I don't know. I don't plan on dwelling on it. But it's
frustrating.
Sometimes Twitch runs perfectly fine, and then other times there's like endless amounts of issues. And I'm sure if you looked into it, it'd be directly related to what they're doing behind the scenes. Again, I just wish I knew what the fuck was going on to some degree. Can you tell me about the updates or the changes or what you have planned? Can you warn me that things might be messed up?
Now, in case you're out there, if you're not sure what we're talking about yet, recently they've made it to where you cannot put highlights and past broadcasts on the rerun queue for some inexplicable reason.
And I know that Mike mentioned the audio, the muted audio, which isn't new, but it's like, it just reminded me of,
No, it's been bad though recently.
It has been
It's been
worse.
bad with my Mario series and Todd's Harry Potter series.
Well, what's wild, okay, this is really why I mentioned it, because this is the part that I thought was wild. Two things, actually. A, you uploaded it, and when the premiere aired, the audio was muted. That I did not expect that.
No.
So they muted it before it even aired. Crazy. No warning of that as far as I know.
Nothing.
Nope.
And then I went back to check. I thought, because I like to go and see what got muted, and sometimes it'll be like Mario, and it'll kick back to the title screen or something, and it starts playing that iconic music. And I'm like, okay. Or Zelda starts playing the theme song. And then I can understand why it got muted, to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can see how that happened.
Especially because it's a gaming site.
I went to the... Listen.
Dude, we had a long conversation about
I
this.
looked at the fucking Mario game, dude. I went back to the footage. I said, is that happening? That was not happening. I swear you were in the middle of a stage, Mike. Nothing was going on. Nothing changed. It just all of a sudden just got muted. And that I can't figure out. And I guess we could refute it, but then it's like, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole thing all in itself.
I think that issue, though, I feel a little more confidently about that one than I do the other one, that it'll get flushed out, because I remember when we went through this with YouTube before.
Yeah.
When I uploaded the Mario 2 playthrough, they were muting, because there was the part in the first episode where I let it play through the story once, and it was playing the music over again.
I see. Well, and Odd's right about... It was about a year ago. If it wasn't last year, it was the year before.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly everything we got uploaded, nearly everything we uploaded got flagged and had muted audio.
And we couldn't re-download a lot, because they don't let you re-download
yeah.
your shit if you get a flag on it like that.
But that did kind of calm down. So maybe Twitch is going through the same thing. It's just weird.
I certainly hope so.
Even working with the GoDaddy servers, every once in a while, they would kind of choke up on their spam filters, and you'd go out and like look at the message boards and be people like, what the fuck, like. So I mean, I think sites do that sometimes. They just kind of do it a little too much. They tweak it a little too much.
True.
So that's
my whole issue is, like, we have got a lot of shit planned for next season. Next season's going to be like twice as big as this season has been. And if this muted audio keeps happening, I don't know what we're going to do.
Well, there's going to have to be some kind of like equilibrium, because we can't be the only ones out there.
No, and it's literally impeding us doing what we do. I mean, even from Twitch's standpoint, I'm sure that they don't want to do this. I mean, it's about copyright laws and stuff. They want to do it to cover their asses, but that's still got to be messing up the content that they rely on to keep their ad revenue flowing. So
You know, one day we're gonna have to do a bonus episode and just before we go too far down that whole rabbit hole. That's a whole other show.
Well,
because that's been an on. Like I said, we had the problem with YouTube. Now we're having the problem with Twitch, and I'm sure we're going to continue to have problems like this.
No, and frankly, Mike, honestly, we have had this feeling is new in the sense that we haven't experienced it in a long time. Like, probably since you've been part of the crew. But especially when the first 2 years of streaming, we had issues with Twitch constantly.
Yes.
Like,
we've really been
different
with them
issues.
as they've been growing and changing.
And we felt the same way then. We're like, well, I don't know. That's the thing is, like, it's always fucking changing.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
But it's so weird how the other sites have adapted to, like, now there's like a premiere option on Facebook and YouTube when you upload a video.
Yes. Facebook as well?
Yeah.
I noticed YouTube just recently introduced that.
Facebook's trying to turn theirs into kind of like a... I mean, I know you can stream like live video and stuff. I don't know if you can... I don't know how easy to stream video games it is on there yet, besides the... the Blizzard client.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, I mean, that'd be cool one day. Hell, if Facebook gets in that game all of a sudden, why not?
Hell yeah. Well, we'll be streaming and doing our things somewhere.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm sure we'll be on Twitch.
And we'll also...
regardless, to some degree.
And another thing you'll keep seeing from us as long as we have anything to say about it is Control Freaks. Which we had another... Dude, I thought this episode this week was a lot of fun. Because we hit World 6 and it was just mayhem.
We got into the real meat of the game, actually.
Oh, World 6 is so hard.
We did 6 and 7. It was like...
Oh, God.
Geez, yeah, it was almost 2.5 hours.
I think we did every... We might have missed like 1 or 2 levels in 7. Maybe 1 and 6. I think we did most of all the worlds, though. I think.
I feel like we tried to do them all. Maybe we did skip a few.
I know in 7, I'm pretty sure toward the end there was that goddamn piranha plant.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think neither one of us wanted to use a P-Wing again. Because I screwed up and used the 1 earlier in the level.
I think I ended up using the P-Wing to get through that piranha plant level, though. I didn't want to deal with those stupid... It's the alternating pipes. You gotta have, like, real precise timing through the whole level.
It's a nightmare. It's an absolute... I hate that so much.
So, now... That was fun, though.
It was. We had a good time.
It's something I don't have any Mario games on my channel yet.
I think starting out with Mario 3 was a good way to get back into the swing of things, especially since it wasn't like we're not really dragging it out. We skipped the first 3 levels.
Yeah.
Not that we don't like those levels, but I mean really the interesting shit gets later in the game. I think we unanimously like World 5 the best.
Oh yeah.
So that was fun. We had a lot of good time going through that. That was the week before, which is also worth checking out. So yeah, that was a good time. We limped our way through the finish line. We got where we wanted to go, but man, it was daunting.
It was. There was a few times. I think. Oh yeah, right at the end. Oh, you really ought to watch it.
Yeah.
I had to do a save. We had to do save state because I had like 1 life left, and I think I actually did end up dying, and I went back to the beginning. But since we were at the very end, I could just take pipes to the final area. Mm-hmm. That was crazy.
That's worth going back and watching because we recorded it pretty late too, so we were starting to get a little slap happy.
Yeah.
As we want to do. I mean, we do that in daytime sometimes too, but.
True.
It was. Sometimes we don't go to bed.
It turned up to 11 that day.
11 billion. Lego time this week. Continued Harry Potter.
Continued muted audio.
Continued muted audio. Once again, it's a shame. Year 6. Half-Blood Prince. That was it's a lot of fun, man. I'm digging this game quite a bit. I'm getting ready to work on the going into the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, and it's just, I mean, The only thing I can't say for it, they're not using the cinematic, like, it's still like the pantomiming and
there's no voices, right?
Yeah. But the world is so much bigger and there's so much more stuff. Everything's so much. It's such a better game. Like, it's a drastically different game. Well, not drastically. A lot of this stuff is similar, but they just expanded everything. So it's been a lot of fun. There's a lot of. It's one of my favorite books in the series. Probably my second favorite book. Just because it's so, like, it reveals so much. You know, it's that big pivotal piece, and the ending of it is just like one of the best endings. I love that series.
I've missed out on the Harry Potter books.
Oh man,
I don't read. I don't. I've always preferred movies and TV as my entertainment. I've never been a fan of reading.
Looks like we have ourselves a reader.
No, I don't know. I used to like to read a lot more. I still read. I read it every week. I mean, I try to read every day, at least for a little bit. But I read very slowly.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I mean, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Because I read fast, but I have to reread stuff because it's not like I'm not taking it in all the time. Because sometimes I'll start, like, especially if I have shit on my mind.
Yeah.
I'll start reading, but then other things will, like, start, and I have to go back and reread a section, you know?
I hate when that happens. When I'm reading and I'm like, I might as well just reread it later.
Yeah.
Not always, but that's why it takes me so long to read books.
I thought about trying out the audio books.
Yeah.
I've never actually done one before, but I'd imagine it'd be pretty interesting.
I don't think I've ever really done one either. That's interesting, because sometimes I get tired of watching, like, YouTube videos or shows when I'm doing shit on the computer.
That's why I love podcasts. They're like... Because music, even, like, going to work out, like, and stuff, which I haven't done in a while, but when I was going, I really almost rather listen to podcasts because they distract you longer. Music's, like... Not
yeah.
It's a shorter burst.
And it can get old after a while, too.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know why we got talking about this. Oh, yeah.
This is the podcast.
Yeah.
We have this thing to climb along so we can get distracted while we're doing it. Well,
as another distraction, speaking of me preferring movies and TV shows, I have finally given in to the both of your persistent requests.
Yeah. I told you, Todd, we just had to harass him like he harasses us.
I am through 3 episodes of Rick and Morty,
right.
and I am enjoying the shit out of it.
It only gets better, man.
What'd you say?
It only gets better.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear you.
Like, I just watched episode 3, like, an hour and a half ago.
Which one is it? Is that Rick Potion number 9?
No, it was. I didn't look at the title, but it was Anatomy Park.
Oh God!
Yeah.
So yeah, that was interesting.
What was the one? If you stay perfectly still, I can't see. Was it hepatitis B or something?
Hepatitis A.
Oh, I was thinking the T-Rex. Oh shit.
Oh, I'm gonna try to watch like at least one episode of it a day until I'm completely caught up because there's only like 31 episodes.
Yeah.
It gets pretty deep.
I'm currently working on watching that, Bob's Burgers, South Park, and American Dad.
That's quite the smorgasbord.
It is.
Yeah.
I've been watching.
Well, I figure if I'm watching a bunch of stuff at once, I can break it up.
Yeah. I've been watching Community and Adventure Time and whatever the fuck's on YouTube.
Adventure Time's another one that I haven't watched.
Adventure Time's good, but in a complete... Well, I wouldn't even say completely different way. It's an entirely different kind of show. It's not like a sitcom. But they both share something I find very interesting. They're a TV show that has a lot of lore, and I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that show really does have a very colorful cast of characters and backgrounds and all this. That show gets pretty deep too. I think it's over with now, right?
Adventure Time? If it's not over, it has a set end date.
Okay.
I'm not sure. There's I think they ended at 8 or 9 seasons.
Something like that.
And that's it. So
That's still quite a bit.
It is quite a bit, and that show's changed a lot too. I haven't been keeping up on it, but I got season 7 recently, so I've been watching that over and over again.
It's good, man. You definitely watched it more than I have, but I have watched it sporadically. I was always more of a regular
that's
show
what happened.
guy.
That's what happened to me with Bob's Burgers and American Dad and South Park. I fell behind.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I get to start them all from the beginning.
There you go.
Yeah, what was South Park up to, 96, 22 seasons?
Something like that, yeah.
That's wild.
I own 11 of them. I got them in a tub in my parents' storage area. And DVD. No, 12, I'm sorry.
I've also been... Oh, I just was reminded somehow. Arrested Development.
That's a good show.
I think that show's hilarious. And Mystery Science Theater 3000. The reboot.
That was fucking great. We were watching it the other night.
I love the old one.
I've been watching the new one, and I haven't. I used to sometimes I saw the old one on TV when throughout my life, but I never really sat down and watched it.
I don't think it's that different, honestly.
I'm sure it's the same. So when I get tired of this one, the new one, I'm gonna go watch the old one. That show is hilarious. I started singing the intro this morning to QZ, and I realized I know the entire thing. This is ridiculous.
Well, if you see with Joel Hodges, he's very different than the character that we were watching.
Okay.
I think he is.
He's still in the credits of the new show.
Mm-hmm. I saw his name pop. He must be maybe he's the one that he created it, or I don't know. But that's a great, yeah. I hadn't seen that show in a long time. We watched that the other night. I was fucking dying.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely entertaining. Some of the crazy shit they come up with, and some of the weird movies they watch. Speaking of weird movies, how's Kingdom Hearts going?
Well, in the last 2 weeks, we've seen episode 8 and 9. 9 was crazy. 9, I was all over the place.
Oh yeah.
I was in Hollow Bastion. I was creating a gummy ship. I was in Hercules Land.
Gosh, are you getting close to the end of the game?
Well, I got 7 episodes left.
Oh. Sometimes you got to do that in the game. You got to go around and... What were you doing? Collecting different stuff?
Well, with Kingdom Hearts 2... how far did you play through it? Did you play through the whole thing?
Not very far.
I know I've asked you that before, but
no, it's okay. I've only played through what's considered the intro. So all that stuff with Roxas at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
I never really got much past that, so I never even got into the meat of the game.
Well, with Kingdom Hearts 2, you'll play through a few lands. It's it looks like, because I'm looking at all my thumbnails. Because you'll play through a few lands, and then new episodes will unlock in each land. So you have to revisit.
Okay.
So it's looking like I'm actually getting ready to start revisiting.
I cannot wait to play these games. I own them now, too.
I can't wait to watch you play these games.
I've seen so many other people sit and play them, and I'm always like, man, that looks pretty sweet.
Did you like that one for the PSP, Mike?
Which one are you talking about?
I don't know the name of it. It was the one that had the 3 different characters that you played through the game as?
Birth by Sleep.
That's Birth by Sleep.
Is that the card one?
Love it.
No, that one has like the action fighting, like the regular games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, Chain of Memories is the card one.
And that's the one.
I won't play that one.
Yeah,
that was on
okay.
the Game Boy, the DS, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't stand the combat style, so I'm like, if I don't play through one of them, this is going to be the one.
I've already got the 2 damn names mixed up. Birth by Sleep.
But yeah, Birth by Sleep is actually one that I recorded for next season already.
Yeah, I thought so.
One of millions of games.
Right?
You should send out. Well, no, never mind. No, you shouldn't. Or you should blur out the names on those post-it notes, but send out a picture of them.
Yeah.
That'd be
You're like, look what I get to do. This is what you can be prepared for next season. I'm gonna go through this. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On one sheet, I have 7 games listed because they're all gonna be the shorter ones. The ones that only take me like 4 hours or so. You guys should know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And then on my Kingdom Hearts sheet, I've got 2 recorded already and 2 still to record. On my random games sheet, I have 5 games there. 1 that's mostly recorded. 1 that should be mostly recorded if I didn't have it screw up earlier today.
That's fucking rough.
1 that's going to take me about 90 hours, and 1 that I don't know how long it's going to take me, and 1 that my wife is doing.
We should just make an hour and a half long video that just says content missing. Save you the trouble.
No. Especially with that game. Because, like, I've been going through in my head my list of top 5 games today. And that's, like, probably, like, number 2 or 3.
We're still talking about.
I love
Paper
that
Mario.
game so much.
Oh, Paper Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were saying you were really, really familiar. You made the Doom analogy, which I get it.
Yeah.
Those games you can play with your eyes closed almost. You know, every little action. Those are the best ones to record. That's how some of the few that I sent you today. I want to get that way. I am with a few of them. Like Link's Awakening was one of them. And I'm pretty sure I can get that one down pretty quick.
Nice.
Because I remember all kinds of shit. It's the same thing as when I played the Nintendo one. If you were to ask me right now, where are all the heart pieces? But I'm like, fuck if I know.
Yeah, man. I think you'll be surprised. When I started playing that game all the time, I already had a ton of muscle memory associated with the entire game. I knew where almost everything was.
It's
for
weird.
Link to the Past?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
And then I would get to when I kept playing through it, I'd get to the point where I knew what was under like every pot and stuff. At least all the ones I ran into frequently.
Yeah, you ground that one out just like Resident Evil there for a
Fuck
while.
yeah. I
Doing
got
the
really
speed runs and shit.
I could beat both of those games and I could beat Resident Evil in under 4 hours consistently. Resident Evil 2. And I could probably beat Zelda in about 5 hours. A Link to the Past.
And we got all that stuff up on the archives.
We have playthroughs of both of those games. There's quite a few.
Resident Evil, man. There's several.
Several where I get to the end and die too.
Yeah.
And
It's a good run.
Yeah. If I die on the final boss, I'm like, well, that's that game.
Did you ever record the... what was it called? It's one of the crazy, like, extra scenarios.
Oh, there's I did.
Like the
Resident Evil 2 has a couple of, like, bonus games. Not even a couple. A few.
It had a weird name.
There's the Hunk mission.
Hunk. That's what it was.
Which you play as... It's also known as the Fourth Survivor mission. Because, I guess, according to canon, there's 4 people that, like, they know get out.
Mm-hmm.
the two main characters, the little girl they escape with, and the fourth survivor, who is an umbrella operative. So in this minigame, instead of like traveling through all the stuff, you're in the basement with a vial of the virus that you stole, and you have to get out.
It's pretty crazy.
There's no weapons to pick up. You get like a starting equipment and ammo, and you just got to go through pretty much every room. It's just like a gauntlet. Mm. Every room is like another puzzle of wild enemies. That was tough. I never finished that.
I was going to ask you if you recorded that or not.
I do have a recording of that. So I haven't, at least trying it, not playing through it, but at least making attempts. There's a tofu mission where you play as a piece of tofu, knife only. I don't have any content of that.
I thought I was making that up in my head at first.
No, that's real.
I'm not crazy.
Nope.
Not as crazy.
Not because that's not associated with your craziness. The tofu thing is real. And there's also a third mission, which we do have content of. It's called the EX Battle or Extreme Battle. Mm-hmm. That's weird, too. Same kind
How
of thing.
In the hell do you play as a piece of tofu?
You're literally like a standing piece of tofu. Very carefully. I guess that's the easy answer. You're this weird chunk of tofu. You have a knife, and you just like run around. You can't... No weapons, nothing to pick up. It's ridiculous. Instead of making a character model, they put like a white chunk of tofu there.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
That is ridiculous.
Yes, and then the more damage you take, you start off white and then you go to pink to red.
I didn't remember that.
That's the only character ridiculous. You can tell like how damaged you are. There's a perk to being a piece of tofu. You know exactly how much damage you've taken.
Someone got paid.
Yes.
To program.
Maybe. I almost feel like they just did that on their free time.
Touche.
I feel like they're like...
It's like the boss ain't looking. I got a few lines of code in here. I want to sneak in.
That's what they played before they made the character model for the other game.
There you go.
They played as the tofu. I don't know. That's not a fact that I know of. It's just funny.
Fuck it. It's a fact now. You heard it first.
You heard it here.
We're spreading rumors.
It's a fact now.
Someone will fucking...
Hashtag BTV facts.
I can't wait till that's on Wikipedia, and then I look at the reference, and it's our fucking podcast.
It's like, well...
Okay. We'll take it.
Put it in there.
Damn it, Mike.
It's canon.
Genius.
All right.
So, anyhow.
I mean, anybody can edit Wikipedia.
Yes, they can.
Wow. We're not... Conspiracy theories. Go... Okay. Since we're on it. Night
Lord.
Team 4 is a great game. No, I'm
yes.
plugging Night. Night Team 4. NITE Team 4. Our buddy Iggy is like a big part of the community. Actually, since the game is being developed currently, he's actually part of the development of the game. In a big way, I know he does a lot with the community there. So, and they've been very friendly. Everyone on there has been cool, and the game's great. So, I don't know. Just a plug for that game. Because conspiracy theories. Well, we have a hive mind on there. Iggy made us... If you do have Night Team 4, there's a hive mind on there that you can hack into. That's a scenario. I mean, with us in it. You can find out about our secret lives. I was looking at it. It's crazy. I'll have to show it to you.
That is cool. I hadn't heard about that.
It's wild. So, yeah. There you go.
And Iggy won, like, a $100 cash prize for that? For being the best one? Something?
Yeah, they're giving out they started giving out monthly cash prizes, and Iggy was the first one to win it.
I mean, that's what they do. He used to tell me at work they would have like a day I think every Friday where they would get together as a group and try to design like some kind of game or something. I don't know.
That's amazing. I'm glad he's into that. Oh, and actually, shout outs to Iggy. I mean, in general, but the Hive Mind has links on it. It has a link to our Twitch and to our YouTube.
Nice.
So anybody playing Night Team 4 and sees that hive mind, I mean, that's like another area that we're being promoted. So thank you, Iggy.
One of us. One of us.
He put a lot of work into that shit too. Thanks for part of the bunch.
Yeah, the BTV. That's the way they all became the BT bunch. Doo-doo. Oh God, that's gonna made into a Photoshop image.
Yes, please.
The BTV bunch. Okay.
I mean,
Marsha,
you almost did with that Mega Man thing you made.
Yeah, I was just thinking that's pretty much the same concept. It wouldn't be that hard. It'd be funny. I had to get a picture of everybody. I had to figure out where they're gonna be at and have them looking, like having Iggy looking up, and I'll have you looking over.
You need to scare me. You need to be like, and then take a picture of me when I'm fucking distracted.
I'll probably have everybody doing that, and then have you just kind of standing out the side with headphones on, smoking a cigarette. Just.
It would be hilarious. I want to be in the middle, looking up. What the fuck?
That's how you end up pregnant.
Thank you, Mike.
You heard it first. The creative process in action, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of the hive mind. Yes, you can find out about all that wonderful stuff at BananaROMaTV.com. And join our Discord server if you want to learn more about 19.4. They got a whole channel dedicated to that. They got a whole server dedicated to that, don't they?
Yeah.
So check that out. Felix has been really involved with that. Like I said, seriously, Iggy has been. He's been around with us close to the beginning. For a long time, and he knows what he's doing, man. I went to college with this guy. I know he knows his shit. So let's check it out. Felix, I was gonna ask you. I can't remember what game did you do this week for It's Midnight. I don't think I was either asleep or.
I did. Hold on. Do I remember even? I did Pokemon. At least part of the time.
I want to say.
I think I played something else though.
19.
I played Team Fortress 2 one night. That's it. Well, I want my Pokemon playthrough to be. It's a very slowly done Let's Play basically. So I don't want to do it when I'm not prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been slow, but I finally acquired the 4th gym badge. I think I did that. If not, I'm on my way to the 4th gym badge. I'm playing through it in 2 different save files right now, so it's a little bit mixed up, but.
Well, I gotta admit that process works out. Kind of helps with playing through the Harry Potter game. I mean, each one's still taking about 2 hours, 20 minutes or something like that. But I've been trucking through it as much as I haven't been getting stuck like I did on the other game.
No, and especially since I've been playing through it on the other file, and I know what Pokemon I'm going to be getting in fights with, and the ones that gave me trouble, I'm making sure I'm prepared.
Oh yeah.
So Pokemon Let's Go Eevee's been overall it's been a good game. I have some issues with it. I don't know that I had the highest expectations, but it's a little bit disappointing in some ways. But overall, it's fun.
That seems to be the general consensus I've seen and heard from other people. Is it's not a bad game, and a lot of the Pokemon fans are playing it, but maybe they would have preferred, or maybe everybody would have preferred a new.
Yes.
The Switch, maybe something brand new. They added, if I understand, features, that correlated with Pokemon Go that kind of refreshing for the game.
They did a lot of, I guess that's kind of what redeems it. Is I'm okay, this is basically a remake of Pokemon Yellow, which is a remake of Pokemon Red and Blue. I've played that game a billion times. I mean, they literally released Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green on the Game Boy. Game Boy Advance.
Mm-hmm.
So the game's already been remade. We're playing it again. Not that it's bad. It's kind of a nice nostalgia trip. The Pokemon have never looked so awesome. And there are definitely refreshing changes. But it's also a little bit of a grind doing the exact same stuff I've done 100 different times. Mm-hmm. Even though it looks nicer.
Yeah.
That only goes so far. When you go back and think of the game, you don't think about the graphics, even if they're shitty. you think about the experience. So, while it is like enjoyable, that does not make it.
Mm-hmm.
It looking good just isn't the whole thing.
Are there any plans on the horizon for them to do a brand new title?
I don't know. I mean, there's always a new Pokemon game in production. I don't know what's officially released, and I saw some talk that they're gonna continue remaking games, which, whatever. It's not a bad. It's not a bad idea.
Now, speaking of that, I watched a video on YouTube earlier that was discussing the fact that Rare believes that people don't want remade games.
Man,
And
I don't know how you speak for. There's so many different types of gamers out there. There's so many different kinds of people. Some people, I'm sure, are completely happy with Pokemon Yellow and it being a remake, and they'll be happy to see every Game Boy game remade. I probably won't buy a bunch of them, but I will almost certainly buy the next core game. And I don't know. As for whether like a new Pokemon game is going to come out, we're currently still on Generation 8, which started with whatever. This is just some Pokemon jargon, but Generation 8 started with Pokemon Sun and Moon. That game came out about 3 years ago now. So, yeah, like in the next few years, I imagine we'll see Generation 9.
Yeah.
Which will have new Pokemon come out. And then, and then that will be, I guess that's what keeps me hopeful, is there's a lot of cool stuff in this game, and I'm excited to see what the next core game is going to look like. So ultimately, I am pleased with how the series is going.
I think that the game kind of bears that out, because like I said, I haven't heard a lot of like rumbling of dislike so much. It's kind of the similar thing you said, where it's like, hey, this is the same game I've seen before, but it looks cool. They've spruced it up, and maybe people warm into it.
The simple fact that people aren't hating and throwing a fit, largely, over some major changes in the series, I think some of the things are pretty major. That's a good sign that Nintendo's. It's okay. We'll get used to the stuff. The game was getting stagnant. Not literally, but it was getting stagnant, even on the Game Boy. You know what I mean? It needs to be shaken up.
I think the Pokemon Go was a good answer to that. Speaking from someone who's played it, who entered the Pokemon world through that outlet, you know.
That's, yeah.
It's a completely different. But I've learned, you know, a lot about it just through playing. You know, it's been over a year now. I'm on level 33.
That's how they get you. You know all their names.
Yeah, I was watching. You were playing it the other day. I'm like, hey, that's, I don't know, Eevee and Squirtle and Ivysaur and all that shit. Charmander. Was it Charizard?
Yo.
Lord.
I don't know shit about Pokemon.
I don't know. I can't.
I know who Pikachu is.
I'm not going to recommend it to you. I kind of recommend it to Todd. I think he'd like it. Plus, we could play together.
I don't. Once again, I don't really have a good excuse now for not playing it.
I mean, you know, time. It's like all the games. It's like, well, whatever. It's on a list. But I don't know, Mike. Honestly, the games are kind of simple in a lot of ways. If you really like collecting monsters, then that's cool. I have a lot of nostalgia that keeps me coming back to the series.
It's kind of like...
And that's what keeps me coming back to, like, when a new Mortal Kombat game comes out.
Right.
Or I was going to say, think of it kind of like with Magic the Gathering. You know, you can keep playing it now and keep up with it, and there's a lot of cool stuff, but there's also that nostalgia because it's been around for, when it come on, 93, 92, something like that.
Right.
Yeah, the problem with Magic, though, is that they have added so much crap to that game that it's almost unrecognizable.
I'm excited about Keyforge. Magic, I started last year I got back into Magic and I bought some cards, and goddamn, that game's expensive. And I still have the cards, obviously. I'm going to keep them. I like them. But there's a new card game I've been looking at, Keyforge. The decks are procedurally generated, and you go buy a deck for $10, and it's unique. There's no other deck like it. Even the back of the card has a unique print on it.
Yeah, you don't mix them up and make new decks like Magic cards. They're just the deck.
Yeah, that's your deck. Like, you don't add cards to it. You don't take it. That deck is the deck, and it even has its own name. You can register it online, and I don't know. But
I like that.
Do you? It sounds interesting to me. Our friend gifted each of us here, Keezy, Odd, and I, packs. We're waiting till we can, for the opportune time to open them all at once, just for whatever. It's almost
we've
Christmas.
All been working, man. We're barely. There's only been a couple times where we've all three been here at the same time. And it's like I've been busy trying to record Harry Potter, or you're busy trying to work on your game,
dude,
or she's
so much. So
she
we
has to
haven't
lay
had
down.
time to do that. Yeah, exactly. Anna works fucking midnight. So.
We are gonna either record it or even live stream it, depending on if we're feeling froggy. The opening of the decks and trying to mess with them, and because it's Richard Garfield.
Yeah, Richard Garfield, the same guy who created Magic. So I don't know. I've been watching YouTube videos to learn the rules. I watched this one like 3 or 4 times. I kept like rewinding it last night, and I tried to play like a mock game with myself. Oh, it's the best part is it's on Tabletop Simulator. Someone made it so you could type in the URL that's linked to your deck, and it'll bring up the deck on the game, and it makes decks. It'll procedurally generate random decks for you too.
Holy shit!
And it's got a playmat and all the tokens and stuff you need. So we could check that game out. Yeah, it doesn't seem too overly complicated.
It sounds like I'm gonna have to watch those videos.
It sounds a lot simpler than Magic.
See, the trick we've always talked about, the trick of Magic is the basic rules of Magic aren't very hard to grasp, and then you start getting into all the little.
When you get into the nitty gritty of the game, it's insane. Like when I learned about the stack and how all that, like, it's intuitive. I guess it makes sense when you think about it, but just like imagining it and the fact that the game has to go that fucking deep.
Well, some of the moments you get into, especially like in like around big multiplayer games, we were having to look up rules and shit.
Yeah.
Because
shit. Even so, I bought some of the new packs, and they have like little cards in it that tell you how to play.
Mm-hmm.
They make a point to mention that there's 3 attack parts of the attack phase. Declaring attackers, declaring defenders, and then like resolving damage, because those little integral parts, like there's like vigilance, and then there's like double strike and stuff, and those all depend on the little machinery that's taking. I don't know. It's just crazy to think about.
That's what made playing Magic the Gathering online. Like, it would take care of all that for you, or like any counters or anything you needed to do. That's something
crazy.
Else we've talked about. We want to record some of that too. Try different ways of approaching that, different camera angles and whatnot.
Oh shit, with Keyforge, I just thought of this. Sorry, I'm just going to express myself. With Keyforge, we could have, if there was 3 of us, 2 of us could play, and then we could have a third person just watch the match from above or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then they could like highlight the cards. That would make recording Keyforge might not be too bad. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
We'll get around to actually opening the cards.
I've just been geeked about that game.
No,
I bought myself. I got one for my brother for his birthday, or for not his birthday, but for Christmas. I can't believe they had them. I called the game shop. They had decks of Keyforge.
Where did Mr. R get them from?
The game shop in town, our house. So I called them last week. They didn't have any. I called them yesterday. They said they had some. By the time I went in there, they were sold out again, I think. Like, I went in there, I grabbed 3. So I couldn't, I opened one myself. I was like, this is my Christmas gift. And I Wow. It looks like a lot of fun. That's how I tried to play a mock game, with the deck that I open. So, I don't know.
Good way to pro. I used to have matching decks all the time. Draw hands, just kind of play it out and see how it would go.
That's what I thought. Because then I was like, well, then I can get an idea of how the game actually plays. So when we go to play it, I'll have some kind of idea.
That's something I'd like to get into later as the year starts to go on. It's more like playing Magic and stuff like that. Like real life card game, as well as tabletop simulator stuff too.
Oh, yeah, true. Without giving too much away, we are working on that, trying to get some board games going.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. I gotta talk to you about that. Or maybe I already did. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll get there. Let's see.
Speaking
move
of that,
on.
how is the game we were playing the other night? How's that coming along?
How's that coming along?
Yeah. The game we're creating off of the game we were playing the other night.
Oh, I see. Oh, it's where it was a month ago.
Brutally honest.
That's just real grind work, and I just haven't had the time.
Oh yeah.
But I figure, I don't know, I can bust out like a page at a time. So, and actually, it was enlightening playing the game, because there's definitely things I don't want in our game, and probably things I do want to add. Like, we were having issues with multiple cards.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, some of the cards require 2 answers. It's like, well, how do you mix that up and not know who did what? I don't know. You would know who... Anyway, it's too complicated. We haven't figured out a good solution for that.
That's something. That's something to keep an eye on now that there's more people. Because even though I don't really do it myself, I know you guys have been doing it. RRP47 has been doing it. Iggy's even jumped in, hasn't he? A few times. Or just he just
Iggy and I got on and played like one game of something.
Okay.
But we didn't stream it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I've played with Iggy offline before. Iggy's always there to like tell you what the rules are, though.
Yeah.
So.
I tell you what, man. I was trying to think. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I finally got the hardest part of the Doomsday playthrough out of the way. I was excited
Nice.
to talk about it because it's the Delta Labs, which is like, I guess the game freaks me out so much still, even as much as I played it. I like, a part of me has been dreading going through it, and part of me has been excited to go through it. You know, I got that. I knew that was going to be the most difficult chunk of it, because there'll be next month's Doomsday, and then there'll be Slav Day.
Nice.
So, there's still a bit to go, though. I'm not like right at the end by any stretch of the imagination.
You said it's still spooky?
Yes.
Like scary? That's awesome. Like, as old as that game is, not that it's super old, but in as much as you've played it, that it's still like...
You put the headphones on, you sit in the dark, and it's like... Because the Delta Labs start off with... You hear enemies and you see shadows, but nothing attacks you.
Damn.
It's a while into the level before you actually start getting attacked, and they really fucking come at you. But it's just, they really play on that whole empty base aesthetic. It's just really creepy. And it's like, I don't know which ones. It's hard to compare like the Dead Space, because to me they're completely different types of scary. Like, I don't know. Dead Space is more like cinematic in its scariness, where Doom is just like a visceral experience, where it's just like you feel like you're just in this. I don't know, man. I love it. And then besides that, like this last week, I carried on with Link's Awakening. I've been in my little. I've been in my little Legend of Zelda kick, starting to rev the engine a little bit. I got 2 more levels to go on that one. Then I'll be moving on to A Link to the Past. And then I don't know after that. I'll probably Ocarina of Time if I can figure out a way to play it. Or one of the mini Wii games we have floating around.
True.
Twilight Princess. I know we had Wind Waker somewhere.
Wind Waker would be amazing.
I might have to do that for the stream. I don't think I've ever streamed that before. Maybe a long time ago. I feel like there might have been a few times at the beginning.
I'm gonna look around and see if we can find that one.
Thousands of years ago.
Ocarina of Time I actually have on my Wii, but trying to actually play the Ocarina is a pain in the ass without the actual C buttons.
Do you have to use a stick?
Yeah.
Gross.
I just used a GameCube controller. I never actually played it with the Wii thingy.
Wiimote.
The Wiimote, that's what. Yeah.
Well, I use for the 64. You have to have the classic controller. And like I'm legit playing. I'm working on my playthrough of what I lost right now. And the controller is, I mean, it's more or less a PlayStation controller. The one that I have.
Okay, I gotcha. And it's okay, because that 64 controller is so like I don't know what the right word is for it, man. I never liked it.
Unique.
Yeah, that's a nice.
Some people.
Unique is a very good way of putting. See, but I never had a problem with it. That's the thing.
No, some people love it. Some people hate it. I'm kind of right in the middle. I don't. It was
it.
It was fine. I love it. I don't know. I didn't hate the controller. It functions as a controller just fine.
Yeah.
I like the Z button where it is. That's a cool thing. The C button.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an innovative controller, and it's okay. I don't love it though. My favorite controller is the fucking DualShock 2. I mean, actually, the PlayStation 4 controller is amazing.
Yeah, it's so
yeah,
it's orgasmic.
It's better than the DualShock 2. Yeah, wireless PS4 controller. It owns my heart. It's a great weight too. Yes.
But it's interesting because I think the way that the 64 went to the GameCube is similar to how they had like the Wii and then they had the Wii U and now they have the Switch. You see that same because the GameCube controller had similar. I don't know. It reminded me of the 64 controller.
Yeah, definitely. It's got the Z instead of the Z trigger. It's kind of got it tucked up here on the right side, and even the button placement is different. I do appreciate the way those buttons are laid out, though. Big A button with like the Y and the X up top, and the B down here. I don't know. Everything's kind of handy.
It's a very. I played so many Legend of Zelda games using that controller, and it's made. I don't know, man. It's made for it.
That is a nice controller. The Joy-Cons,
Yeah.
They're cool. They function, but I don't know.
64. PS4 is where it's at right now, man. And that's the one I'll swear by. I agree with you on that. Xbox isn't too bad, but I don't get to use it very often, so
That's true.
and it's a very similar. It's very similar to everything you do on it. It's just everything's a little different, just enough to be fucking annoying.
Just enough to be not the same.
The biggest difference with the Xbox controller is where the left stick and the D-pad are.
Yeah.
They're just flipped. And that's enough to piss me off.
Yeah, it does throws me out too when I go to play Call of Duty with my nephew or anything like that. I'm like, oh. That's why when I play Doom on the PS4, it's like heavenly. I go back and try to play the games on there, and I'm like, it feels like going through molasses. Everything's different, and it's uncomfortable. I want my PS4.
Oh, damn it. Now I'm going to have that song stuck in my head all night.
You're welcome.
Yay.
Now, I didn't mean, I'm going to bring this up, I think. Now I'm going to talk about this. We had our final episode of Turnbuckle Talk this week for this season.
Yes, we did.
And it was a lot of fun, man. We just got in there and screwed around with the creative mode and the match types and We ran a couple elimination chambers.
Nice.
You won your title back.
Oh.
I did win my title back.
That was the closing image of the show. Evil Penguin holding the title belt up in the air, victorious.
As it should be.
After he cheated, because he's a cheating cheater who cheats.
Cheat for shit.
No, it was all computer. It was fun. We had all of our created our characters were in there. We had Felix in one of them. It was a good time. That was and the week before that we had a second part of the dream match topic, which that was a lot of fun too. I can't remember what the dream matches were off the top of my head. I don't know if you remember any of them.
I don't remember. I know we debuted Craig.
Yes. Craig.
Felix, have you seen Craig yet?
Felix had to run to the little boy's room.
Oh, okay.
He made a silent exit. He was like, "Screw Mike, screw this show, screw you guys. I gotta piss." Except, none of that. He just went upstairs. I'm assuming he went to the bathroom. I guess he could have went upstairs and, he could snort the mail off. He could shoot up the alcohol.
Shoot up the alcohol.
These kids with the game, but that was fun, man. The next season, I already got topics for the idea we'll have stuff recorded ahead of time.
Well, did you see the tweet that I put out to you about what I want to do for the first episode?
What's the best or the worst?
Both. I want to do both, especially with what was playing on my Pandora. You saw what that was, right?
I don't remember what it was.
It was Hulk Hogan's WCW theme music.
I don't even remember that. I mean, I remember the I remember me, obviously, the NWO, the Voodoo Child.
Yeah, Jimi Hendrix.
I have to go back. I don't remember what it said.
Oh.
I imagine it was horrible.
Oh, it was bad.
I mean, it was WCW. So I kind of got it like that. Well, no, that's a very good idea for we'll have to get into next season.
Because I've had favorite theme songs from, like, throughout the generations.
Yeah.
From when theme music started in the late 80s up until now.
Yeah, it's weird. A lot of those, you go back and watch a lot of those other favorite music stuff, a lot of those guys don't face them out.
Silence.
Yeah, it's weird now. Shit, everybody, even what was the first time I told them for? I mean, that's the exaggeration. It's not. You don't do pyro on stuff with these. Everybody has like a white Genesis is lovely. What is that? Genesis is lovely. It's a little late for that.
Oh, it's because I muted Media Source 1.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know what Media Source 2 was, so I didn't mute it. I should have. Well, I don't know how long that's been going on, but thanks, Johnny.
Well, the good news is, I guess, is that there's not a lot of. Or no, never mind. I recorded that. Yeah, there was. That's bad news. Never mind. That was the recorded version of it, which means all the music was in it, that's what he was hearing.
Oh. When did the second video... You had 2 videos queued?
Yes, but the other one has been playing very long.
Hasn't?
No.
Okay, the first one should have been muted, so we should have only had the loud music whenever the second video started.
Yeah, it was just a minute ago when we started talking about.
Okay.
Right when I brought up the turnbuckle. My fault, everybody.
That's okay. Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah, good looking out. Oh. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I don't know why I was thinking. God. Oh, man. What a day.
It's alright. It wasn't... We didn't miss much, I guess.
Well, it's muted now, so we're hunky-dory.
You know Twitch is gonna mute us while that's on. So.
Yeah. Well, basically, we talked about how awesome Turnbuckle Talk was, what we want to do next season. And if you want to know what that is, come back, check out next season. It'll be awesome.
TG Dub.
TG Dub. If Twitch doesn't, eradicate us now.
Yeah.
The proverbial scarlet letter. How dare you have music playing? Once again, that's a topic for another time. So how was Retro First Timer this week?
Well, I'll tell you. I played, what did I play?
Kid Icarus?
Kid Icarus, thank you. Because I remember the other game that I played. But yeah, I was playing Kid Icarus, and I couldn't get past the first level.
Yep.
So I was kind of bummed, especially since that's also on the mini SNES or the mini NES.
It is.
So yeah. So that's kind of a waste of that part of it because I'll never play it.
No, actually, I tried playing that game recently, and it's. Have you played it, Kid Icarus?
No, that's weird because I was remembering people liking it, but I guess maybe not. I don't have a lot of experience. I've played it before, but I don't know if I played it recently.
I've learned something from Mike doing Retro First Timer. And it's that basically every game for the NES, anyway, that any of us said we liked or that they might like, maybe except for Metroid, I feel like Mike ended up hating.
Yes.
I mean, how many of these games have you liked? Doing a Retro First Timer. There's been a few.
And it's really been the two Super Nintendo games.
Yeah, the NES games, it's got to be largely nostalgia or the fact that you're already kind of good at them. So there's not, I don't know.
Well, I mean,
it's just different going back and playing those NES games. It's a different kind of game.
It was a different type of. I don't know, man. I mean, we talked about it, but I mean, it's just hard to get over.
Because something happened with the next game too, right, Mike? Didn't you do a game that someone recommended to you as well?
Yeah. So the track coach at Tech, good buddy of mine, I talked to him about our stuff all the time. And he kept telling me, you got to play the original G.I. Joe for the original Nintendo. It's such an awesome game. I love that game. I used to rent it all the time. Yep, you passed the first level.
Now that was was that one of the ones like Cabal where you were kind of over the shoulder first person?
No, it was total third person.
Oh, okay. Do you remember that one?
No.
I don't know if I played that one. I didn't see you play it. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that again. That's I mean, if it was a commercial property, then Nintendo made a game for it, it was going to be terrible. I don't know if there was... And I thought the RoboCop game was pretty good. But it was still...
Turtles is the one exception.
Well, the arcade game and number 3. Those were pretty good.
I feel like Turtles games kind of, at least in that NES, Super Nintendo, Turtles games were okay.
Yeah.
Maybe generally, as far as licensed games were concerned.
No, you're right. The first one was the only example of one where it was like they had the characters like April O'Neil and Rocksteady and Bebop, but as you're going through and playing the game, you're looking at the enemies, you're like, what the fuck is this? Like these are never appeared anywhere in a Ninja Turtles game ever. One thing I liked / hated about that game was how the enemies, every room it was randomized.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, like it was never the same.
Okay. That at least keeps it interesting.
Yeah, I don't think back then there wasn't too many games that did that. Usually it was pretty standard. You know, that was one mercy you had on you most of the time, is that you knew it was coming, so you could at least.
I always got freaked out when I would find the guy that was like throwing the stuff that looked like the moons.
I don't know. What does he just throw? Giant. I feel like I recall that.
Yeah, it
giant,
was
like boulders or something.
Something. And then you always run into the guy with the fucking chainsaw.
Classic, total classic. I've loved watching you do Retro First Timer, man. I think the Bomberman episode is still one of my favorites.
Oh fuck, Bomberman!
Because you started off like in a pretty good, jovial, state of mind, and then you just what's the word I'm looking for? Degraded throughout the episode.
Broke the fuck down is what happened.
Your rage overtook you.
Sorry. Spy vs. Spy was great. Is that the name of that game?
Spy Hunter?
Spy Hunter?
The car one?
Yes. Because I remember having some fun with that game, and I was like, Mike, you might like it. And he's like, what the hell is going on?
I couldn't figure anything out!
I mean, I can't blame you. I really haven't played that game in a long time, but it was just...
It's so weird.
I'm really glad I came up with the idea for that series, though, because it's got me to play old games that I've never touched, that were always super fucking popular, and I have found a couple that I want to go back to.
I'm telling you, man, you should keep it going. I mean, you haven't even scratched the surface. I mean, you've done a lot of the popular games, but man, you haven't. I mean, original PlayStation. I don't know if that's considered retro. Is that?
I would think so. Original PlayStation? I would think so.
64 games. You've never really played the GameCube. I don't know if the GameCube's. That's like early 2000s. I don't know if that's really retro, but Nintendo and Super Nintendo, Sega, shit, TurboGrafx 16. Play some fucking Bonk. Bonk's Adventures.
I need to play TurboGrafx 16. I've never done that.
What was that one? Slaughterhouse. There's some real popular game where you're like a dude in like a hockey mask and.
Yeah, Slaughterhouse.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be fun to see you do that one. Maniac Mansion.
Have you never? That's not. Have you ever played? Wait a minute, Mike. You've never played PlayStation? Like, is there a lot of PlayStation 1? Okay. There's a lot of games you haven't played, though, I guess. There's a billion.
Oh, I'm sure there's a ton of games that I haven't played.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Well, you could stick with the first couple systems and still, there were games I was playing the other night where I'm like, man, I'd love to see Mike fuck with this. Because I have no idea what the hell is going on. Like I said, like Legacy of the Wizard. I actually made myself play that for like almost an hour the other night. I'm like, I'm going to get some shit figured out. And I don't know, man. It's just such a weird game. That was that one, I don't know if you remember. I played Solar Jetman too. That was another one. I was going through the Raspberry just playing a bunch of old games.
That's fun to do.
That is. There's some of them, like Solar Jetman, I'm like, I haven't played this one in years. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's why. Good concept. I just didn't feel like taking time to learn how to play it. Has to do with actual gravity and shit. Motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Now, Keezy, I believe, streamed
Final Fantasy 12?
Yeah. This weekend, last
week. Yeah, because I love the title. It's something different. It's not 10.
It was 10 for a long time. Yeah. 12. I just started playing that the other day, and she's like, well, that's the game that was in there when I went to play. Okay. 12's cool, though. And that version's different than the one that came out for the PlayStation in the United States. It has a job system, which the original game didn't have. So
it's crazy how those games. Like this one's over in Japan. It's this one, but over here it's called this. And
yeah, it's wild. They make like international releases. That's part of the reason there's all the different crazy versions of Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
It's because there's there's the international version. It's weird.
Disney's such a just ever-present entity throughout the world. Like in every reach, there's a fucking Mickey Mouse ears on every.
That's a good point.
It's kind of scary when you think about it like that. It's like Mickey Mouse deep state.
Mickey Mouse, they're right.
Goofy taking people down to the fucking interrogation rooms. You never see him again. Golly. I'm gonna put one in his hand. Okay, that's enough of that.
I liked it.
Yes, Keezy's getting her stride back. She had a rough patch there right after we moved in.
It's been a lot going on.
Yeah.
But she did seem to enjoy that, so 12 is cool.
We had I'm trying to think what. I know I did Legend of Zelda throughout the week. I think that was all I did, though, for unscheduled streams.
I know, you did a lot of Link's Awakening. I know that.
Yes. I don't know if we've done anything else. I think, didn't you premiere the thing you guys did the other night? You recorded?
Yeah, the multiplayer? Yeah, I premiered that last night.
Oh, God, that was fun.
That was fun.
And I guess that technically counts as an unscheduled. It wasn't really a stream per se, but it was a.
Yeah, it was kind of we recorded it Friday night, which is the night we try to get together for gaming. But we aired it on Saturday. So yeah, that was it wasn't scheduled, yeah. That was a good time though. It gets pretty foul though, or whatever. I don't know where. It gets dark, it gets weird. Fucking Cards Against Humanity.
It most certainly gets foul.
It gets dark.
I thought it got dark a few times.
You had to run that Wonder Shows and this is soul crushing for young children.
Yes.
Oh man. So I mean it's a pretty good overall week. I think everybody got their shit in. It was I've been having a lot of fun playing Legend of Zelda, man. I've been really enjoying myself doing the Doomsday thing. Knock on wood, fingers crossed, everything's because I can't wait to get to the end of the season and be able to put a playlist together of. I guess I've got to go back and re-upload all of it, but
that is. Don't even get me started.
Well, hopefully by the time I do the next Doomsday segment, I'll have that Doomsday.
Car alarm.
Yeah.
I don't think it's mine.
It's not my car. Oh, either of my cars.
Oh, there you go. Yay.
We're doing a podcast over here.
We're
Luckily,
talking
it didn't
here.
last very long.
Can you steal that car somewhere else?
I gotta love it.
Keep summer safe.
Not keep summer like totally okay and stuff. Oh god.
I had to build a bomb, Morty. Fucking Rick.
How many times? Too many times, Rick. Too many times. This next week's gonna be interesting. The Christmas season is upon us. We're on
indeed.
the eve of Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
I still plan on streaming Thursday. I don't know. What's the Monday? Are you gonna do anything for the Yo What's Felix? Or just kind of maybe put up a.
I can't guarantee anything. That's Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going over to my ma's house, so I don't know. I'll be home in time.
I don't have Mario recorded either, so
Yeah. So this week what?
I figure
we'll
it's the holiday season. We'll do what we can, but
yeah, I mean, there's probably a lot less. I imagine there's less people watching. Most people are probably busy with stuff. At least in our neck of the woods.
I know it's a weird question. Is It's a Wonderful Life? Is that a free domain? Like, we could do we try to find some like Christmas movie that's like in the public domain and play some like.
That would be sweet.
Kind of like how you did that before with some different movies and stuff. That was cool.
I did.
Just something completely different type of thing to have on there.
That's a cool idea. I'll see if there's something. I'll go dig around in my public domain bookmarks and see what I can find.
What Christmas delights? Maybe some kind of Japanese version of It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh god.
Hitachi? Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh my god! And then we'll get on and do our own science mystery theater
Someday.
Oh god.
Someday.
Yeah.
So, as far as the BTV Presents shows, we'll have some stuff going. I don't know.
Kingdom Hearts will play.
Kingdom Hearts will play. I don't know about Control Freaks. Probably not.
We don't have anything. We don't have anything already recorded.
I'll have Lego Time ready. I'm more than likely we'll get that done.
And I'll very likely do my show on Wednesday at midnight.
So what else? TGW Turnbuckle Talk, as we were saying earlier, that's finished for the season. But starting January 8th, which we'll get into more over the next couple of weeks, will be the first tournament for the Golden Road toward the Gold Rush PPV. Oh, I'm so excited for that. Somniac Hours will probably be more than likely Legend of Zelda again. If I do, I don't know why. I mean, it's Thursday night, so I'll be off. Like I work Wednesday, I'll be off Thursday though. So. Oh
yeah, and I'll probably do Pokemon. But who knows?
There'll be some stuff on throughout the week. We still have some of the BTV Present stuff coming up. I'll probably be on streaming at some random points throughout the week, all that good stuff. I might even try and get on and play. I'll probably more than likely get on and stream something with my nephews. I'm sure they're gonna get. I think Zach's getting a Switch.
Oh,
well, you don't have the. You have to have a thing to stream with that, right?
Yeah, you can't just stream from the Switch.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll probably do something. Yeah, well, I'm sure Keezy probably won't.
No, probably not.
It's Tuesday. Yeah, that's Christmas Day. Yeah. So basically, we'll have stuff going throughout the week. Check in. If you don't already follow us on Twitch, hit that button and turn on notifications to know when we go live, because we will be doing. You never know when we're going to pop up streaming whenever we feel like it.
True. Whenever it works.
Whoever, wherever, whatever.
I'd say we'll probably run whatever reruns we can throughout the week too.
I like that idea.
We'll figure some stuff out.
I'd like to. What I'm thinking about doing once. I think we'll have to. I don't know. I don't know if to re-upload these or not. I was thinking about for the next couple Tuesdays. One week playing half the episodes, and then the next week playing the other half of the podcast, rerunning them, something like that.
Okay. Oops. Whatever works.
So I'll look at that and see if I can get figured out. I mean, I can re-upload them if I need to. I mean, I have all that stuff. So yeah, we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Beers for Breakfast. Your input has been invaluable, because I totally didn't think about that video being on. I was so excited to put the wrestling footage up. It's like, yeah, TGW. Although I technically didn't really have anything to do with TGW, but it was still WWE 2K. But as always, don't forget, you can find information about what's going on now and what will be going on in the future for BananaROMa at BananaROMaTV.com, which also has links to all of our all of our social media links, such as Facebook, Twitter, Patreon.
It's got links to our merch. If you haven't checked that out, we got some pretty crazy stuff on there.
YouTube. Give us a subscribe. We're so close to getting that URL.
We are.
And all this stuff, we got stuff constantly going up on there. We premiere episodes. The ROMcast will be premiered tomorrow night. I'm still going to have that premiering on Facebook and YouTube. If you missed the live stream each week, we'll have a rerun going on Mondays, as well as the blog, the BTV Weekly Recap. Just kind of keeping you updated on what's going on in the world of BTV. This week, we've been privileged to be followed by several new people. Or the last couple weeks, rather.
Yeah.
Felix, I don't know if you can...
Let's see. Thanks to... I might be repeating some of these, but whatever. TSM Trooper. New Toss. Oh, hold on, I'm going to move this microphone. Okay. 35. Betty Dude. F. Sessa. Glenn Humplick.
Glenn in the house?
It's about time, Glenn.
Get back in the closet.
I wondered about that.
Hey, he snuck out, man. What can I say?
Lizard 0. Bubba James 87. Weetabix.
And actually, Weetabix is a friend of mine.
Nice. Well, thank you.
Excellent.
He's one of the grad assistant track coaches.
Now the next step is join the Discord.
Yeah, so Discord's been hopping lately, man. We got a lot of new people jumping on there.
That's for advanced users only. No, I'm just kidding. Come hang out.
King's Honor X.
Oh, yeah.
RRP47. Scars. Scarus, rather. Who else? The King of the Hive joined recently. And I think we got a few other people on there. So
Conversations have been more lively.
yes. And we have all kinds of different rooms you can go to on there. General chat, music, movies, random...
Some specific games.
Yes.
I gotta put a thing on there for that DX2 game. I love that game.
We have, if you're looking to talk with other people about gaming, that's the place to be right now. Is BTV Discord. And you can find links to all this stuff, as well as the TGW Discord, if you're a fan of wrestling, or you just find our antics hilarious, or just both.
Or both. Especially if both.
Follow us on the TGW Discord. You can talk wrestling with us. You can listen to me bitch and bone about how much I don't like the current product. You can suggest topics for us to do in future podcasts, or ideas for rivalries and whatnot on our shows, whatever you feel like talking about wrestling related. You can go on there and tell us how much you love Vince Russo. Well, maybe not. Maybe that's going a little too far.
His name is Vic Venom, sir.
I'm sorry. Russo, Venom, useless. They all sound the same to me.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's a different conversation for a different channel. Or a different forum, I guess.
Our other podcast.
Yes. The other show. But and lastly, but not least, you can find all of us on Twitter separately. I'm at Oddsmith311, Felix.
FelixNloom.
And Evil Penguin.
At Evil Penguin 1981.
Chatted us on there. Once again, you can talk to us about whatever, nerd stuff, real world stuff. If you just want to rap. If you yeah,
I'm okay with that. I just want to rap sometimes.
Yes. All the time.
BananaROMa mixtape.
It's dropping soon. It's going to be hot. Ripping off all kinds of artists.
Yes, it'll be Todd and I
We've been working on
doing
some stuff.
shitty renditions.
The whitest white boys you ever heard rap.
It'll be great. Of copywritten songs.
Yay. But don't worry, they won't recognize them.
That's right, because that'll be on cassette tape.
Oh, yeah. Old school.
Filter that, Twitch.
Oh, they'll find some way to do it. But that's been our show for tonight. We want to say thank you guys for joining us, and once again, have a safe and happy holiday and party
Don't die.
on. But yeah, don't die. Don't
Or
get captured.
do, but try not to.
Come back to life if you do. We need you back here for the new year. Next week we'll do just do a little weekend year in review, season review thing. That'd
That
be fun.
should be fun, yes.
That'll be our last ROMcast of the year. That'd be crazy. We'll be going to 2019. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Whether you
Fresh
like it or not.
It's gonna happen. You dread it, run from it. But okay,
Is that a meme?
what's that? If it's not, it should be.
It should be. It's a BTV meme if it's not already one.
But but the fun is not over. Stay tuned after the ROMcast here for a little bit. I'm gonna have a little bit of fun. We found a Christmas Doom. Actually, I guess it's a full 32 level watch, if I
Wow.
understand correctly. I don't know, but just based on the couple minutes we've seen earlier, it's gonna be fucking hilarious. We'll probably do that for about an hour or so. Just have a little bit of fun. So stay tuned. We'll be back shortly here after the show. But once again, thank you for joining us tonight for the weekly ROMcast. I have been Oddsmith311 here with FelixNloom
Peace out.
and Evil Penguin 1981.
Happy Kwanzaa.
You guys have a merry holiday and a happy Christmas. Peace.